Hi guys, it's Dana, and I'm here continuing to work on this journal for my sister, and I'm at the point where I have put all the signatures in, and we are ready to do our hidden spine and get this together. So I can flip through the signatures later, but what I've done is I've cut a piece of light chipboard. This is just the front of a paper pad that is gone, and I've cut this down to 7.5. My book is 7 3/4 tall, and my pages are 7 1/4 tall. So I've cut this to 7.5. so that it's taller than my pages, but shorter than my cover. And then I covered it with a piece of paper from the paper collection and inked around the edges. So that's where we're at. Oops. So I'm gonna set this aside for now, the cover, and we're gonna work on this. So what I need to do is mark on here where my holes need to go. So what I've decided to do is, my ruler is so gunky and yucky. So what I've decided to do, this is 1.5 inches wide. I want to give room on either side for a little bit of give for my signatures. So I'm going to mark a 1/4 inch on either side. I'm going to do that at the top and the bottom. 1/4 inch. If my head gets in here, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to connect those dots and draw a line. All the way down on both sides. Okay. Now, so that is basically giving me room on either side. Okay, then I've got 3 signatures. The first signature and the last signature are going to sit on these 2 lines. So now we have an 1 inch gap here. So I am going to just make a mark at 1/2 inch at the top. I hope this makes sense. And I'm going to go 1/2 inch, and I've got my ruler placed on the edges here of those lines. So now we're going to connect those. So now I vertically know the position of my signature. So I'm just going to lay my signature here next to, I should line this up so it's nice and straight. And I'm just going to eyeball this, okay? Actually, I think I'm going to just take this cover page out so it's not so fluffy, so I can work with it better. Making sure I'm straight here. Okay. You know what I need to do is I need to mark. This is the top. Okay. This is the top of my signature. This is the top of my spine here. Okay, and I'm going to mark the middle, and I'm just eyeballing it about right here, and then just about 1/2 inch up or so from each edge here and here. Okay. And I just want to make sure that I'm straight on my cutting mat because I'm going to use that to keep my ruler straight. And I'm going to draw a line here. My thing keeps moving. Okay, and here. Just lining my mark up on my mat here. And here. And now I know the intersections of where I'm gonna poke my holes. Okay, don't need my ruler anymore or my pencil. I do need my pokey tool. So now what I'm gonna do is poke my holes with my pokey tool. Where's my mouse pad? There it is. Get it out here. Okay, so I'm just actually, I do want my ruler. Sometimes I don't poke holes straight even if I have a line. This is my bad pokey tool. Let me get my good pokey tool. Okay, so I'm gonna line up here on my line. Okay, see, I got off there. I even had a ruler and it's still off. Oh. Jeez, I'm gonna pull this closer to me so I can see better. Actually, my Tim Holtz ruler is a beveled edge and it's probably better for this. It lays flatter so I can see better. Okay. Just poking my holes. Okay. Right where my lines intersect. Okay. And now I'm just gonna poke all the way through so that I know my holes are big enough for my needle to get through. Because those are just the very tip of my pokey tool. There we go. Okay. Set this aside for now. Now I need to work on clipping my signatures together. So let me make sure that my shorter pieces are all in place. Everything sits where I want it. I don't have that many short pages, so that one looks okay. The bag looks okay. All right, so this one's all right. I just take 4 clips here. I open them all up. I haven't even asked how y'all are doing. I hope y'all are doing okay. Everyone's doing fine. Just jumped right in here. It's real late here and I'm actually going to my sister's for the next 5 days. And so I really wanted to get a couple of videos done tonight before I left. So it's pretty late here and I'm just starting. So that's why I just kind of jumped right in. Okay. Get these all done here. Okay, that's one. Let's make sure my short pages, I'm got a doily in this one. Okay, that's not sitting in the right place. So let's move that over. That's better. Okay, let's see if my bag needs to move. There we go. Okay. There we go on that. Open up some clips here so they're all ready to go. Okay, let's get this one all clipped. All right, it's number 2. I need 2 more clips here. I think I got a couple extras in here, yeah. Okay, let's make sure we're all in the right places here. Bag looks good. And my short ledger paper looks good. Okay, we're good to go here. Okay, now what I want to do is take my pencil and I'm going to take my marks here. That's why I drew a line all the way to the edge. Okay, I'm going to lay this against my spine here and I'm going to mark. Oops, that was a little bit too big of a mark. I'm going to have to erase that. I'm marking on each one where I need to poke my holes. And now I'll just poke those through. Okay, that one's ready. Let's mark the next one. I'm sorry, I know you guys probably can't see this very well. Oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? I don't know if oh, I did. I had it centered. This is not as long as my papers, so you need to make sure that it is. Let me see if I can open this up where I can show you a little bit better. Because they're clipped. So I just need to make sure that this is centered with the same amount hanging over on both ends. So that looks pretty good. So now I'll mark where I need to poke my holes. With the top, I hope I did that right, with the top at the top. Yeah. I'm really lucky tonight that I'm not, I feel like I'm making mistakes, but they've worked out. Okay. Okay, that one's good to go. Now, with making sure that my top is at the top and my T is at the top, let's do this last one. Make sure I've got it about the same amount hanging off each end. That looks pretty good. Mark where I'm going to poke my holes. Okay. And then poke my holes. Okay, now I need to decide what order I want my signatures in. Close that up. So I'm thinking I want this to be the first signature. And these both have birds on them, so 1, 3, and then I'll put the flower in the middle. This is number 1, this is number 2. I'm going to set those aside because I'm going to start with the last signature. It's just easier that way, and I'm just going to make sure my holes, because I poked through from the back, so I want to make sure that my holes are nice and taken care of here. that they're as open from the front as they are from the back. Okay, let's decide. It doesn't really matter what color we go for here. I have some purple. Looky there. I did not even realize I had that. Let's use this. I was gonna use beige, but no need. If I've got purple, that matches best. Take some tape off here. This is just wax linen thread. Okay, let me find the end here. Okay, and we're gonna go 3 lengths of the book. And we'll cut all 3 at once. So 1, 2, and 3. Cut right here, and then I'll just make sure that I'll just cut it by this. It's 2 and 1 more. Makes 3. I tell you, I'm a mess tonight, guys. It's like everything I touch falls over. I'm just like, I'm a wreck. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I'm trying to hurry. I don't really know. Okay. So I'm going to take this. Let me get my needle. Get it threaded here. Get in there. Okay, there we go. Okay. So make sure that I've got the top at the top of this here. We don't want to sew this in backwards. And I'm sewing in the last signature. So I'm going into these holes here at the back. So I'm going to go through the back. And you guys have seen me sew in signatures a ton of times. So basically it's just like if I'm sewing it into a 1 signature journal, but I'm sewing it onto just this piece of cardstock here. Okay. Get that there. Okay, I'm just gonna hold my thread over here, just like I normally do. This can just be a little fiddly here. And I'm gonna go through the bottom. To my hole here. Okay. I'm going to go through the top, through my signature, and then through the hole in the back here of our little hidden spine. Okay, and I'm going to pull this, making sure everything's kind of flush. Okay, then I'm going to go back through the middle. Pull my thread off to the side, try not to split my thread. Come on. That's not going in. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay, we want our tails to be on different sides of the middle thread here, so that we can tie it, and I did not split my threads. All right, so I'm just gonna tie this. I usually tie mine 3 times. 2 is probably plenty. but I always get worried. Okay, so I tied it twice. I'm just gonna tie a bow. There we go. Oh, that purple looks really pretty. I'm gonna fiddle with my bow because I just to do that. Okay, so we have our first signature in. Well, it's actually the third. Okay, so let me rethread my needle. I'm sorry, you guys. I know I'm just, like I said, I'm a wreck tonight. I don't know what is going on. Okay, let me grab my middle one. That's the one with the flower. I'm going to make sure I've got it all right side up. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to go down through the middle. We're going to use the middle set of holes now. So I'm just going to sew it right to the board, just like I did the first one. Okay. Up through here. Through the little hole in my signature. Get in there. There we go. Pull my thread out of the way. Okay, through the last hole, the top hole, and the top hole of the spine. And this is always the hardest part for me, is going back through that middle hole. So I pull my string out of the way so I don't split my thread. Don't know why I always have trouble going back through that middle hole. But I do. There we go. Got it. And I didn't split my thread. Okay. Opposite sides of the middle thread. We're going to pull tight. Make sure everything's sitting nice and tight, and it is. Take my needle off. And tie this in a double knot. And then just tie a small little cute little bow with what's left. There we go. All right. Now it's time for signature number 1. I think I'm going to take these clips off because they'll lay flatter. The signatures will lay flatter if I do that. Because when you have them clipped, they're kind of naturally in a V shape and they won't fold flat. See, now I can fold these flat out of my way. I can't do that when they're clipped. Okay, last one. Okay, so we'll grab our first signature. We're going to make sure that it's right side up. We're going to go down through the middle and through our first set of holes here. Get this last one done. Okay, through the top. And this is if you're new and watching the channel, this is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Okay. Just fiddling with my thread, guys. It's kind of, like I said, it's a fiddly job with the hidden spine here. Okay, now back through the middle, and I'm holding my tail off to one side so that I have room to get my needle past it without breaking my thread. Oh wow, look, that one went like right through. Well, hallelujah. Okay, everything's nice and tight and flush there. Go back to this other side here. Pull everything tight and double knot it. And there we go. We have all our signatures sewn onto the hidden spine. Okay. Move all of our clips out of the way. And that's what we have. I'm sorry, I know that was a very fiddly process, but there's our spine. We have our 3 signatures sitting in here, just like that. And now what we're gonna do is we'll glue this into our cover so that our pages will sit right in here like that. Very cute, right? So let me grab some Fabri-Tac. Let me kind of clean up here, get this stuff out of the way. And I usually just keep 4 clips in here. This is where I keep all my sewing in of the signature stuff. And these clips I need to put away into a little Ziploc bag. And I'll put those away later. Okay, let me grab my Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to be very generous. I want to make sure that this sticks in here and doesn't lift. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got all the way to the edge. All in between my threads. And I'm going to go on top of them last. Okay. Now, I want to make sure I'm right side up. Make sure my spine is right side up. And we're just going to glue this right down in here. Making sure that my book closes. I need to get my bone folder. And I'm gonna go press between my signatures. To make sure that I've got really good contact. Make sure our glue grabs really well. And that everything's sitting nice and flat. Okay. Because I certainly don't want to mess it up at this point. Too much work has been done. The edges of this here. Okay, I do not want to touch this anymore. I don't want to close my book. I think what I'm going to do is grab a couple of clips here so that my signatures stand up, so that this can sit here and dry for a bit, just like this, without messing with it. All right, and I've got a couple of things that we can do while we're waiting for this to dry. I've been working on ephemera, and what I did was I pulled from my to-do basket, and I also pulled from my ready-made ephemera, and over the last few days, I've just been making ephemera. So I have all of this ephemera pockets and stuff, but there's a couple things left that I really wanted to do. And you know what? I screwed up because one of them was envelopes that I wanted to sew into the signatures. Well, we're not doing that. Okay. So what I think I'll do is I wanted to use napkins on those envelopes. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and use napkins on these. These are leftover pieces of file folder from, I'm not even sure what I was doing with the file folder. I don't know if I was making covers. I have no idea what I was doing, but I have these 3 little pieces that fold like this. So I thought what I would do is turn these into Hermelinda tags. So with them folded and the fold at the top, I'm just gonna cut them into tag shapes. And these are, I don't know if I know that I have enough pockets. I don't know if I have enough stuff to go in the pockets. So that's an unknown at this point. And I'm just gonna match these up because they're the exact same size and just use that as my guide to cut the corners of these. And I know these are called Hermelinda tags only because of other people I've seen on YouTube do them, and that's what they call them. I don't know the lady's channel of who actually made these, but obviously her name was Hermelinda. Okay, so what I've got here is these, and I'm gonna ink them. Well, I'm gonna ink the outside, excuse the noise. I'm gonna ink the outside after I put napkin on them, but I'll go ahead and ink the inside. Just gonna fold them the other way. And the inside will be, there's a ton of journaling space here, so I'm not gonna do anything to the inside. Excuse all the noise, my daughter's getting water. Okay, so all of that is journaling space. That's a lot of journaling space for just a tag. And so we'll just decorate the outside of them. This has a little bit of the, these are Amazon Basic brand, and so it's got a little bit of that typing of the brand name. That does not bother me. It does not bother me for people to know that get my journals what the actual piece was made out of. And I wasn't going to do any heavily decorated. I was just going to cover them with napkin, and that was it. Unless something strikes my fancy once we're done. And I am just going to put the napkin on with glue stick. All right. So we have, that's what we have. And let me check our time here. Okay, we have some time. So let's pick some napkins. Let's put these aside. And let's see what we have here. I don't want scraps. Although, let me see if I have any scraps big enough, because I do see some purple here. That's not, is that going to cover the whole thing? No. I might not have any scraps that are big enough. Okay, I don't have any scraps that are big enough. So let's go to the actual napkins. I may have a full napkin of those colors. Okay, so here's one. Here's the original napkin of that one. So we'll use this on one of them. Let's see what else we have here. This is really pretty. It's got pink in it too, but it also has purple. The whole thing doesn't have to be purple. Okay. That's kind of pretty. Especially if we used the center of it. Okay, let's make sure that we don't have something else that I'm totally in love with. Well, is it that pretty? And that. Really like that. I like the other one too, but it's got a little too much blue in them. Okay, let me check these, because these are a nice size, because they're, oh, look at this one. Let's use this one. Okay. We need to do some napkin play. I've got some really pretty napkins in here that we need to play with these. Okay, let me put my scraps back. Get these out of the way. Okay. I need my tape. Okay, we're not using this one, so let's set that aside. This one's lining is already taken off of it. Let's get the lining off of this one. Is there another? I don't think there is. Let me test it over here. Oh, there is. Ooh, that's a temperamental napkin. That lining does not want to come off. I almost couldn't tell that there was another piece there. Be careful not to rip here. All right, so our napkins are prepped. The rest is easy from there. Okay, let me set these aside. We'll get to those in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna use my glue book, and what we're gonna do is start on one side, and we'll put glue on one side and put the napkin on. like that. I think I definitely want that butterfly. And then, you know what? This one has another layer on it that hasn't been taken off. There we go, that's better. It looked a little too opaque. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. I'm gonna lay this down like that because I want to kind of go in the middle. So let me grab my glue stick and I'm gonna glue this really well. Getting all the edges. All right. And now I'm gonna set this down on here where I want it. About right here. And then I'm gonna smooth it out. Turn it over and I'm gonna smooth it out. Smooth the wrinkles. Okay, like that. We're gonna have to do some patchwork here, but that's fine. Okay. To wipe up some of this glue off here. I'll just get a new page. Okay. And now we'll glue the other side of the tag really well. Fold that back down. Smooth it out. And I'm gonna rip off this piece of the napkin here. And I'm gonna use it right here. We need to put some glue here. A little more glue here. All right. Oops. I tore the napkin because I wasn't being careful enough. That's okay. Just pick it up and glue it there. There we go. We're running out of time. So what I want to do is just, I'm going to trim this out even though it's not dry. I'm just going to trim it out so you guys can see what it looks like. Actually, I wonder if it would work better if I just folded it. I just can't see the edge as well. I wonder if I folded it backwards. Like that. See if we can get both sides trimmed at once without ruining the tag. But it also gives us 2 layers of napkins instead of 1. And sometimes that cuts better. Okay. A little spot here at the bottom. There we go. I need to trim that. There we go. That's better. Missed some on this side. fiddly. Very fiddly. There we go. Oh, that's really cute. Okay. And it looks like I cut part of my tag by accident when I was trimming that napkin. So I need to trim this up to where the sides are even. There we go. Let's ink it so we can get the full effect. Oh, that's so pretty. In fact, I really think that the patch side I like better than this side, so I think I might have this be the front. That's really pretty. Even this up. And see, sometimes when you have stuff like this where the napkin's just so pretty in and of itself, you don't really need to do anything else to it. So that's what we have, just like that. And that'll go in a pocket, really, really sweet. Very nice. Okay, so I'll do the other ones off camera. I've got one for each signature, and I'll go ahead and do those off camera, and I will just put these right here in the bin with the other ephemera. And we're gonna be ready once this is dry. I'm gonna figure the cover out, and then we'll start filling with pockets and things like that. So if you guys don't see a video, any other videos coming this week, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to film a second video tonight. So I'm gonna be gone for the next few days. I won't be back until Saturday. So there probably will not be a video going up until Sunday. So this week, there's plenty of videos on my channel to go ahead and, let's unclip this, to go ahead and watch. There's lots of hours of watching time on my channel, so check out some of my older videos. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. This is all dry now. So this is what we have. This is our, that went in nicely. Very, very sweet. Oh, she's gonna love this. All right, everything fit just perfect. Oh, I'm so happy with that. And there is lots of room for ephemera and stuff, so it's probably gonna be a chunky thing, but that's okay. She'll like it just the same. So, all right, so we'll finish this up when I get back next weekend. And I'm super excited about that. And I think what I'm going to do is take all of my ephemera and stuff that I have and the journal to her house and work on it this week, putting in pockets and things like that. And then I'll finish the cover and the closure and all of that when we come back next week, and I'll be able to flip through it and show you what it looks like. So until next Sunday, guys, stay safe. Have a great week. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you next weekend. Bye, guys.